It was pretty clever, actually. I had no problem with the time jumps and then how long it was. I think it's only really like 3 jumps, actually.
No, it was more than 3.
Well, every 9 years, so it's 3. 27.
It might have felt long to you.
I was thinking it was
like 30
4.
jumps to you. We're back.
We're back. Hello. Hola. We'll continue on with our Halloween special. And now it's Bob.
It's me. My movie is called In the Shadow of the Moon. This is a movie I sort of happened upon a couple of years ago when it first came onto Netflix. And it just has stuck with me ever since. And I said, it's a really interesting movie. It's not like I'm going, oh, I got to tell everybody to see this movie, but it's a really good movie. I don't know if other people are going to like it. And then when it came around time to do this, I said, now's the chance to see how other people are going to take it, because I think it's a movie that I would call a sleeper. It's like you don't know what you're getting into when you go into this movie. You can read like the general thing of like, well, this happens at such and such a time, but you don't get what's going on. And the way the thing is told, which is over a period of time, every time the time changes, you get a new revelation. And that's just wonderful storytelling to me. The actors are all terrific, I think, and the plot is really, this is a science fiction plot, but it's one of these science fiction things that it's like, this is the kind of science fiction movie I want to see. It's not getting into all of this like blah, blah. There's no robots. There's none of that kind of crap. It's a straightforward science, really just the kind of science fiction books that I would pick up and read and discover. And I think that I'm not going to say a whole bunch about it because I want to hear what other people have to say. But it's obviously I like it a lot. I picked it, and there were several things I thought of. What am I going to pick for Halloween? And then I thought, oh, this is a good time to watch In the Shadow of the Moon again. And when I did, I said, oh, this movie's even better than I remember it was. So
well, that's good.
I got a chance to share it with everybody else, and now we'll hear what the other folks have to say.
Okay. I thought this film was like exceptionally good. It was, it kind of happens in sections. Like at first you think you're watching like a serial killer weird movie, and then like a whodunit. And then it jumps into adventure and then sci-fi. It kind of takes you with it. And I have to say that Boyd Holbrook,
yeah.
Who played the main character, I thought he was exceptional. Yeah. I mean, because this goes over a period of time that this happens. I say Tom Lockhart and that's who he played, and Bokeem Woodbine as his partner. I love him. I see him in many things like Halo, and he's great, and I love him. He plays his partner Maddox, and then Michael C. Hall. What is that?
Michael C. Hall I thought was really good.
He was great.
He was really good.
He is very good because his part is very and it's a supporting role, and he does it very well. He doesn't try and be the star of the show. He does it very relaxed. I really believed him.
He plays the character as the character is.
He didn't. That was a nice surprise to see this cast. Like I said, the movie starts out like your average run-of-the-mill murder mystery, and then it gets really interesting. And then it goes through time. And actually, I watched the movie twice because at first I was like, did that make sense? And I went through it to see, does that make sense? Does that make, from what not that I'm an expert on time travel, but did it make sense to my knowledge of time travel, right? And I went back, and sure enough, it did. It did make sense. So I thought it was, I don't know who wrote it. Do you know who wrote it?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Let's see.
Okay, the writer was George Weidman and Jeffrey Talk. Did they have some kind of side? This reminds me of a book I might have, that I'm like like
Robert Heinlein.
yeah, like that sort of thing. It's like these guys, like Isaac Asimov, and they were actually scientists, and like 2001.
Arthur Clarke.
Yeah, they were scientists, and they actually had some theories, and they wrote it into their novels, and that's what I really liked about it, right? And this was actually reminding me of that kind of sci-fi, like where it's kind of intricate. Somebody had a theory about space travel, and they put it in or time travel, and they put it in a story. And then it was like, wow, what a great story. And again, like the other movies we've been doing, it had a great twist also. Because so basically he's chasing a time traveling serial killer. It turns out to be much more than that. That's what I'm saying. It goes through turns, and kind of like the thing, what's good and what's bad, and it has really philosophical questions too. So yeah, I really liked it. I actually said I loved this movie, and it was way more. It was a very sophisticated sci-fi. It wasn't a stupid sci-fi. It was very sophisticated, and I like that.
I liked it, but I didn't love it. I love the main actor. He really carried it through. I call him Dexter.
Wait, hold on.
The Dexter.
That's Michael C. Hall.
Michael C. Hall.
He's not the main actor.
No, I didn't say he was.
I'm sorry.
And also Michael C. Hall was great. The only thing is the pacing of the movie. They had too many jumps. If it had less jumps, I would have really liked it more. It's getting boring with so many jumps. And the ending, I'm sorry, that was so predictable.
Well, that's okay that it's predictable.
Well, no, I don't want it to be predictable. I want to be amazed, right?
I think it's revealed as the
I didn't
movie
find it
goes on.
predictable.
I think it was revealed by the time you get there. You kind of know where it's going,
Right.
but it's not predictable from the beginning.
Oh, no, not from the
you're
beginning.
like, yeah.
No, but I'm
I
saying,
think as you get to know the characters more, as you
Yeah.
kind of figure out what's going on more, then I wouldn't use the term predictable, but it's like, okay, it's following a specific story that makes a lot of sense.
the more you
But
know.
now that you know more about it,
Right.
you say, okay, so I think I know what's going to happen next.
Right.
But every time I thought I knew what was going to happen next, and it happened, I felt gratified as opposed to cheated.
It was just too many jumps. I think that's what, I was getting bored with all the jumps. They should have had,
But don't you think it kind of
No.
makes sense because it's like every 9 years?
well,
this
they should have made it
happens.
every 12 years or every 15
Well, whatever it
years.
is, I mean, it's like we're getting into different
Well,
opinions.
to me, it makes sense only because of the daughter. And
Yeah.
I think she kind of shows, you see the jumps with her age and what she's going through.
Well, you can put it for older.
Am I doing a
Too
spoiler
many
here?
jumps. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think
Too
so.
many
I'm
jumps.
going to talk
You
about
just hit
his.
a big spoiler.
No, I'm talking about. He's talking about his daughter.
His daughter.
And I'm going to talk about his daughter as well.
Yeah, when she said
Oh,
her
so
birthday.
you're both spoiling. Okay, go ahead.
Well, she's there at the beginning.
won't be the first time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, why do
She's
you
there at
go?
the beginning
Okay.
of the film.
Well, I actually feel the same way you did, Patty. I did find this predictable because the one thing I thought, the way it was described, it's like, okay, let me start watching it. It's like, oh, I bet you this can happen. It's like, yep, happened. All of a sudden. And that's what sort of like was unfortunately for me. But, I was sort of still intrigued by, I think you're right. I think Boyd Holbrook gives a wonderful performance in
Yeah.
3 different time periods.
Yeah, he goes through a lot of changes.
Exactly. And the reason you understand the character in the second part, because it's like a 3-part play.
Right.
You're saying a first part, a middle, and then a conclusion. And he's playing in 3 different age groups.
Right.
So the thing is, but every time you're in the new age group, you understand his motivation, period. So he's just wonderful, I think, in this movie. I also give it to his daughter. The girl who plays his daughter, at least as a teenager, I mean, even as a little girl like that, was really good. Let's see. That's so funny. I should have had the cast ready. I didn't think it was talking about her, but okay, Amy
Quincy
was
Kirkwood?
Sarah Dugdale. She played her from 18 to 27, so part 2 and 3. And the first one was like Quincy Kirkwood. But
Right.
because she's a normal girl, that's the thing.
That's a novelty right there.
But even the fact that, how would you put this? Like she's Boyd's wife is pregnant at the time the movie opens. This starts in 1988. And I thought, okay, how interesting, because they did a lot to set up what was going on in 1988. They showed a sports game. They showed play some music, cues. And I noticed they didn't do that for 1997. And when they move on to the other 2 years. But it didn't matter. But I still thought, wow, this is sort of interesting, because what I did like is the relationship he has with his daughter. First, the 9-year-old, again, one of those, oh, she's almost taking care of daddy. Daddy's not quite all there all the time. By the next transition, she's 18. And you realize he can't even take care of her.
Right.
You know, he can't maintain his job, because also you're seeing him being promoted through the police force as well. I mean, everything that's happening in the 9 years that keeps passing by, life is going on. And so that's what I did like, that they actually show you at that time and point, you know, things with his partner, the daughter, you know, family, and Michael C. Hall's character, who is his superior and a detective, he also is his brother-in-law. He was the wife's brother. So a lot of, you know, which is why he's always sort of thinking, you're going crazy, you seek help. But he's the one sort of taking care of the daughter in a way as well. So it's sort of really, or Holbrook's daughter as an uncle. So that's the part I did appreciate. It's like, okay, the mystery part of it wasn't sort of interesting to me. It's like, no, that I sort of almost figured out. Like you said, I thought, okay, this is sort of a predictable story in that. And again, it's because of my age. I've seen so much, like, oh, I can see where this is going and how it's going to probably end up. And believe me, and even at the end, it's like, man, I can't believe I called that in the very first part. So, again, fascinating, but I think if you just watch it though, and just keep watching it, you might not find it as like a thriller, but it is in my opinion, it's a very good, solid drama. I mean, what's going on, why it's going on. And like you said, the reveals, like the others, the reveals come with each part. There's something more. And that really sees why you see his transition of his character go from, like, you know, a young, you know, promising cop and just really on the get-go, and to where he's like at the end, it's like, man, he's just fallen apart. His poor relationship with his daughter and everything. It's like, okay, there's something really bad going on here in his life.
Right.
But then at the end of the movie, it's like, okay, I guess, is this going to change now? So, you know, it's very interesting. I'd be curious what people have to say about this movie. I would tell people to watch it and say, okay, what part of this movie did you like? Because this movie also works on, in my opinion, on several levels. A science fiction movie, a murder mystery movie, and a family drama. You know. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Actually. I really enjoyed it too. Now, if I'm mistaken, I'm gonna cut this, but doesn't the movie start in 2024?
It does start in 2024.
No, it's 2024, 2027. The very opening shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a building that's on fire and everything.
Yes.
And then that's the opening shot.
I didn't understand. That's what I did not understand.
Yeah. The time is printed on the screen.
Yeah,
No, but I didn't understand. Once you said the burning building, though, it's like, because they also go back to that at the end. So that's why I was wondering what that was supposed to be.
So to me, that beginning is see that burning building in 2024 or 23. And then they go back to 1988 and I go, okay.
Yeah, sets up the stakes.
Yeah, so I'm going, okay, something's going on there with that and why they show us that and they go back to 1988. So, and it's always setting it up to me. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty clever actually. I had no problem with the time jumps and then how long it was. I think it's only really like 3 jumps actually.
No, it was more than 3.
Well, every 9 years, so it's 3. 27.
It might have felt long to you.
I was thinking it was
like
4
jumps to you.
Well, there is the 2027. Now you have that. That's true. Yeah.
I thought it was 2024.
It's 2024.
No, 2024. Yeah, that was the last one.
I saw it twice.
Yeah, 2024.
Which at the time the movie was made would have been, I think, about 6 years in the future.
Yeah.
I think the movie was made in 2018.
When you saw that opening scene, it said 2024.
Yeah.
And you saw like basically kind of a lot of destruction.
Yeah, fire and a building is moving into pieces. And then it goes down to 1988 and that starts.
Yeah.
So I thought it is like a serial killer movie, a sci-fi time movie and a family drama, like I said. I thought Actually, the actor was really good. I never seen him in anything. I never heard anything about that
No,
guy.
we were trying to figure
Well,
out.
did
what
you ever
his-
watch that series called The Sandman?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
It
That's
looks-
how
oh,
I
that was
knew
good. That
him.
looked good, but I didn't
He
see
was
it.
like one of the big
Oh, okay.
characters in it. So
I'd give him a Viking movie. I
I
was
thought
like,
it was
we're
like
going
one
to
of those
see
guys
some
from
Viking
Vikings.
Oh, I
movie
don't want
with
to
the
know.
man.
He's too sensitive for that to me.
No.
oh no,
Yeah,
not
for-
watch The Sandman. He's playing a
No,
nasty
no,
serial killer.
I know,
so
I
was
know
like,
what you're
yeah.
saying, but in terms of, I don't see, I don't want to see him as a
He's
a.
an actor.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's an
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah, no,
That's
I know,
his job.
but I don't want to see him doing those kind of parts. I think he's got a sensitivity to him that.
Well, he can do both.
Exactly.
More
but
work
like
for
I said,
him.
that's
All
why
right,
I
we
was
watch that
impressed.
movie. I'll watch
Let's let
another movie.
George finish.
So yeah, it's interesting because too, like he's obsessed with this serial killer that he keeps running into, like, and it's like, wait a minute, that's the same person from the 9 years ago. So he becomes obsessed, and to the point that even his daughter's upset with him because you give it up, you move on because that's all you think about it now. You like you're missing my life, you know nothing about me and stuff like that. But also he's so obsessed that he seems crazy. You know when some people they know something that you don't know and everybody thinks they're crazy, but like you see somebody probably walking the street, you don't know, they're probably seeing some kind of a intergalactic thing and you go, what kind of nut job is it? And they really see what's going on and we're like, oh.
Well,
Yeah,
So-
he seemed like a conspiracy
Yeah,
kind
but
of
he's
guy.
so obsessed. so
Because he
seems
was
crazy.
going into that world because he was trying to find out something.
But to everybody else, it seems nuts. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's what happens. Like I see
Right.
those movies. It reminded me of movies like Looper or
Yeah.
In Time. You know,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Or
those
even-
are movies I haven't seen yet.
oh, really? Oh,
I like both of those.
And also,
movies.
there's one with Jake Gyllenhaal where he's on a train. And he goes,
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Source
that was
Code.
good.
Yeah,
Source
What was it called?
Yeah.
It
Source
reminded-
Code.
Yeah, that reminded me of those
I
three
got
movies.
that one at home.
Yeah, that's a good movie too. Those three
That
movies
was
are good.
good.
All those three movies are good. So it reminded me of those three movies because they kind of deal with time and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I thought it was a really actually when The Shadow of the Moon, I thought it was going to be a wolf movie. So when do they turn into werewolves?
I have to admit, I thought it was going to be a vampire movie.
But it
Well,
makes sense.
that's one of the things I like about that title because it's just you're sort of expecting somebody to come along that doesn't. Now we've left out. Nobody has talked about one of the major characters in this thing.
Oh, Cleopatra?
Well,
that's
but
her name.
all I'm saying is there is a major character in there, and that character, the first thing that character says, tells you everything that's going to happen.
But also there's one the like the shadow of the moon because they went into this Indian guy and he's a scientist and he kind of describes what the
Right,
importance
that
of
guy.
the moon.
Yeah.
He describes to me that's now I see the title of the movie. It has to do with that something about the moon and the gravitational and the fields and something. It's almost like something opens up at this time every 9 years in the moon. And
Yeah.
so things are able to be done on that level and that scientific whatever level. So
But I do want to say about that she was perfect. She was
Yeah.
absolutely perfect for that.
Great.
role.
She was great.
yeah, she was good.
Are you talking about the Cleopatra Coleman's
Yeah.
character? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she played Raya.
Mhm.
So no, I thought you couldn't remember those movies. So
Maria.
I thought it was a good science fiction movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. In fact, I got to say, my favorite science fiction has always been you start out in the reality that you live in. This is where everything is like this, and then some guy comes through a door or something and says, "Come with me," and everything changes. And this had that. This had that to it.
Take the
It's
red
like-
pill or the blue pill.
Yeah, well, I thought that one was like somebody. Yeah, if you'd never read any science fiction before 1997, that might have gotten to you. But that was like okay. But that's just like I mean, start me out in the here and now that I know, and then take me magical places, and that's what this movie did.
Yep. Yeah, there's like not like a lot. There's no like now. I suppose, but it is now. But there's no CGI.
Yeah.
There's no when you think of that AI. There's no.
The
Or if
multiverse.
there is, we don't know.
It's just not necessary.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's not necessary. You got a good sci-fi.
But
That's
story.
not
Actually, we
necessary.
saw a movie about AI, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, funny enough, I was also watching because of Maggie Smith. I watched a movie that I just kind of came on, and it was it's called Time something, but it was also to do with time travel, and it was Maggie Smith.
Oh, I know the movie you're talking about.
was
I can't think of
great.
it. Yeah.
It was great. So yeah, so that seems to be like it was just she just died, so I had to watch a Maggie Smith movie, and that
Okay.
was the one that I watched. Right?
Yes.
So it was great. So are you ready to?
Yep, you're first.
Oh, I'm first. Okay, I give it a 10.
Okay, I'll give it a 7.
I gave it a 6.
I'll give it a 9.
No.
No, I just
No.
I liked it a lot. Okay.
You liked it a lot. Okay, so we'll see you next week.
Back.
Oh, who's rushing me? Okay.
До свидания.